Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. So what we're going to do today is play with some cards, and I also have a flashcard. I don't know what it is every time. I forget the name of that when I turn on the camera. Okay, anyhow, so this is something I have done before, and so this isn't going to be new to a lot of you, but you might have forgotten about it, because I know when I found this the other day, I was like, I haven't done those in a long time. So it might spark you again to make some more, but there's also lots of new people, and I want everybody to have all the fun ideas, right? So these are just dollar store playing cards that I use to do this one, and I think that's what these are right here. So it doesn't have to be like old vintage cards, because old vintage cards you're not going to need to do this to, because they're already a lot of times patinaed and have a certain feel and look to them. But these are just dollar store cards, and so I'm going to put some book page and some sewing tissue over the top, and that's what makes them look old like that. And then you can put just a few little decorations on it and put it in a journal pocket, and they're just real fun. And you could even put like some kind of lined paper back here, or a coffee dyed paper or something like that, so that you could write on like little tiny journaling cards or tags or whatever. So that's what we're gonna do. So I can show you guys how I do it. I'm trying to think, what do I want to use? I want to do one of these, I think, and we'll do this. This is a different kind of card than this. These I love because they have these cherubs on them, so I probably wouldn't cover that, but if I used one of these, I could definitely cover that. Okay, so what I do, and it's just kind of like something you don't have to do, it just gives you a little tack so that it's not so slippery, because you know these are all coated so that they slide, you know, when you're playing cards, and they also last better, obviously, than just a regular paper card would last. But it helps to, oh, that's what doesn't need it, give them a little tack with some sandpaper. And it doesn't have to be any specific sandpaper. You can use an emery board or whatever too. You don't even have to have like this kind of sandpaper. Or if you have a little sand block or whatever, it'll work. This just kind of roughs them up a little, gives them some tooth so that the paper and stuff sticks a little bit better. Doesn't just end up coming off eventually. I just use glue stick to do this part. So all I do is like take my glue stick and I run it here and there. I don't cover the whole thing for this part. I just run, you know, a little bit here and there. And then I just add, usually I use whole book pages or whatever, but I just have all these little bits. So that's what I'm using, is the bits. And these are probably from past times of me doing this. So how y'all doing today? I hope you're good. I'm doing good. Gotta go get my hair cut today. Run a few errands. So I thought I would hop on and say hi to you guys and just do a little something fun. So this isn't real involved or difficult, but like I said, for a lot of you who have done this type of thing before, this might just make you remember, or you know, give you a new idea. Or you can do it on any kind of card. So if you're like you know, using some other kind of cards for something, then you could easily do the same technique on those. And then you just kind of let it set a minute. Maybe we'll go ahead and do the back too, that way it can all set at the same time. And you might not choose to put any of these little bits of paper on. You can just do the sewing tissue or tea bag. Here's tea bag too. Tea bag works really good, because I think I might, did I use that on here? I might have done that on here. But anyway, it's either one, but it doesn't really matter which one you use. But yeah, you might just want the patina and not the little bits of writing. I just like the little bits of writing. But you do what makes you happy. Okay, so we'll let that one sit a minute and we'll do this one. And also the other thing is, I don't generally like to cover all of my numbers and stuff when I do altered flashcards or playing cards. I really like to have some of that on there. So it's just another way for me to decorate them without covering all that up, because like I said, I like to have that on there. And I don't feel like I have to ink because, like I said, I'm covering it with the sewing tissue, so it's gonna get that kind of aged look anyways. I'm gonna do the back. I think this one I will cover with some kind of paper on the back, so I don't think I need to do the back of that one. Let's put it up here. So all this does is just give you some interest back behind the tissue. That's all, so it's not any big thing. All right, so then what we do is just take some of these pieces and kind of try to peel them away. Like if they're really stuck, you don't even have to do this part at all. I just like to, because it just adds a little bit to it. Like this old paper just breaks. So wherever it's loose, I just peel it off. But if it's not loose, then I don't. And like I said, you do not have to do that step at all. You can just go ahead and cover it up if that's what you want to do. Okay, that one's good. Those are good. They stuck down well. All right, so then, like I said, we're gonna get some glue on a piece of paper here. And I'm just gonna cover the whole top of it with, I think I got this idea originally from Treasure Books, Natasha at Treasure Books. So this was not my idea. This is, as few are, you know, everybody's coming up with ideas. So I like this one a little bit better. It's a little bit more the color I want. So there's one side that you might notice is more shiny. That's the side I put down. And some of the older tissues are better because they don't have as much of the shininess to them. I think the newer ones, they maybe, I don't know why they are more shiny, but they are. So we just cover that, and then that's gonna dry too. So super simple to do and fun, because you could just sit and do like a whole bunch of them, and then you'd have them to just add bits and pieces to when you're ready. Actually, what we might do to use some of this up is fold this over. And I don't mind the wrinkles in mine. I kind of like the wrinkles. If you don't, it's probably going to be a little more work because obviously that's a little bit tricky. I wonder if this will come. Of course, there's that one little spot where it won't reach. Oh yeah, it did. So then probably what I'll do is just let it dry, and then I'll come back and kind of tear that away the same way. Or we could just stick it down entirely. Let's just do that. So we don't have to try to do that and then end up ripping it off where we want it and blah, blah, blah. All the stuff, right? Okay, so there's that one. We're going to let it dry, and then we'll come back to that. Let's do this one. And then we'll decorate a couple up because I think you guys got an idea. But you can, of course, use any cards that you want. I even have, where are they? These funny little ones from the dollar store that are, I don't know what the heck. But anyway, they're just cute little cards. I think it was Old Maid or something. Anyhow, you can even use stuff like that. It's kind of fun depending on the type of journal you're making. So same process. And again, you do not have to do this part. You can just go over the top. I like the effect that that gives. Okay. So now we're going to go over the top of this one. I want to use the piece I have has a bunch of numbers, so I'm going to see if I can find another one in my pile of junk. This is older tissue, I can just tell by the blue for one thing. And it just kind of feels different. Trying to see there's not as much, but I still feel like this side's a little more shiny, so I'm going to put this side down. And you can put on like the lines and all that if you want, but because I have it upside down or whatever, I'm going to just do it this way. Okay, and this one I'm going to cover the back with something else. Something else, I don't know. Let's see. I had a whole stack of, there they are. Just did these, so I'm like, I know they're here because I just did them. This is just white copy paper that I've sprayed. With the Tim Holtz Distress Oxide in Walnut, and then spritz with water, and you get that kind of effect. And I can't remember if I put any tea on these ones or not, but anyway, it's really the water that makes it oxidize, and air and all that, you know. And wherever you see the white, I will just ink it. I'm not that worried. I'd rather have the torn edge. Yeah, these are definitely fun to have around, and I forget about them all the time. So I hope it kind of jarred your guys' memory a little bit too, that have been doing this stuff for a while, and you make some. They are definitely fun to make. I'm supposed to be gluing on the other side. I keep forgetting that, because then I can use it for something else. That's why we don't throw stuff away, right? I am not a hoarder, though. I'm good. I will definitely throw stuff away if it's not useful to me. Okay. Now, where's our first one? Here, we're going to let that other one sit a minute. And then you can just take and, gosh, I got that going everywhere. Sorry, wipe this off. Use the sandpaper and go around the edges, which I might do once I trim it a little bit, but because this is so long here, I'm just going to trim it off. But you can use the sandpaper to get rid of the excess as well, because you'll still end up with some weird spots where you might still need the sandpaper regardless. But that's it, essentially. I mean, it's that easy. So it's definitely not anything super complicated. This is loose back here, so I'll put a little glue under there. because I don't want it coming up, but you could, maybe I will. The whole shaky hand thing is annoying. Okay. All right, that's real sticky, so it's got to dry all the way. But you can see they're fun. And like this one is a lot darker, so I think I don't know, I think it might have just been the type of tissue I used. Because I think it'll end up being about the same. A little different. But it all depends on if you use tissue or tea bags. That just doesn't want to stick. I like the overlap there, though. That's kind of fun. Just something different. A little darker, you know, thicker in spots. But see, brand new cards end up looking a lot older, which is just kind of fun. I don't know why we like everything looking old. Well, I do. I don't know, you know, not everybody does, of course, but I really do. That's why we all got different styles, right? So this is going to go in the little pocket I made yesterday, and we'll just tuck into the pocket at the back of my Bourbon Rose journal because it fits so nicely. And I just loved that those pockets I made yesterday with the embossed envelope. And I thought, oh, it doesn't have to glue onto a page. And then whoever gets the journal can decide if they want to glue it somewhere, but it could just tuck back there too. So it's kind of fun. I did not get the edge over here, apparently. Which happens a lot. Okay. And of course, you can ink these as little or as much as you like. You could use colored inks. You don't have to use the, this is Vintage Photo. You could use whatever you like the best. I just try to give ideas, really. Don't have to do anything the way I do it. Just sometimes you see something and it sparks your creativity, and then you go create something entirely different. That's really the goal. I mean, of course, you know, there's certain pockets or whatever you might want to make just folded the same way or whatever, but I mean, how it ends up looking in the end is going to be your art, not mine. Okay, so I'm going to decorate these two, and we'll put them in a pocket somewhere in the journal. I don't know where this one will go, but this one is going to go in that envelope pocket. So I think what I wanted to do with this one is just add a few little things. I don't need a lot because I don't want to cover up everything I just did, right? Just going to put a piece of Braille. I just have all these scraps floating around on my desk, so it's like, let's use some of this junk up. Get it out of here. Oh, actually, I think I want to put a little piece of this first. This is some avocado dyed music paper. Even though there's music under there, it's okay. I'm just using this because it's close, but you could definitely use glue stick if you like. There's no big rule there. This one here. Always have the little spots I don't get, right? I want to tuck that under there. Yeah, maybe so. A bit of doily. This, I think, was gifted to me many years ago. But it's just like a craft color doily. If you can find those in your area, I don't know. Okay, we're going to ink this. But if you like the cards too without anything on them, you can totally do that. I mean, whatever. I just always like to add stuff. But there's no real, that just slung over onto my ink pad, seriously. Gonna squish it a little, crinkle it, whatever. Oh, again. Maybe, Amy, you should put the lid on. There's no dip. Yeesh. I couldn't do that twice if I tried. Like if I was trying to get dots of glue onto my ink pad from across the desk like that, you think that would ever happen? No. It's kind of like walking by our refrigerator in the garage. It has a bungee cord on it to help keep the freezer closed because it's just an old one that we put out there. And every time, well, not every time, but a lot of times you walk by, it would grab the kid's backpack or it'll grab my purse or whatever. But if you were trying to walk by there and get it to, you know, grab a hold of something, think you'd ever make it happen? Nope. Okay, so there's that. Do I want to add anything else? Like, what are these? These are my this and that labels in my Etsy shop. And the only reason I say that all the time is because I have people ask. So I'm sorry if it bugs you, but I just like to tell people where I get stuff because they will ask, so. We all want to know where the goodies are, right? And these are just funny little labels. Like this is the bottom of an old rusted iron. And I just added different images onto it. So yeah, they're just kind of funny little bits and pieces. Okay, so there's that one, all ready to go into a pocket. Just a fun little tidbit, and like I said, you could definitely cover that with something if you wanted to write on it. And now I'll do this one. I ended up covering a lot of that, but that's okay. Let's see. I do like the gold on there. What else am I going to put on there is the question. Oh, I could put one of these kind of images from the Digi. That one or a different one? all part of the, kind of like that. There's the one of the graveyards. Maybe I'll do the, or cemetery, however you say. Just about done with the Bourbon Rose. So I know I said it would be a flip through, but I forgot I'd have those. I have the big pocket in the front and the back to fill. That's what I'm filling now. So maybe tomorrow we'll do the flip through. Oh, and if you want to see a really beautiful journal using the Bourbon Rose digital download, go to Fays, F-A-Y-E-S, Journal Emporium. She just did a flip through yesterday of, well, for me it was yesterday. It's going to be a couple days now for you guys, but anyway, beautiful journal using the Bourbon Rose digital download. So if you would like to go see that, Faye does beautiful, beautiful work. Here's my little envelope that this is going to go in. I struggle with these, like this would look better, but I've already used this image, so I don't know. I think I might just sort of tear it so it's not quite as wide. Let's see. My daughter gave me these stickers of roses. I don't really want to cover up entirely. That's the only thing. I like to see the numbers. This I got from Amazon. That one's kind of cool because it's just tiny. I don't know that I want one that big. So that's what I think I will use. Okay, let's get these bits glued down. Really old dictionary page there. An old postcard of one of cemeteries in New Orleans. Never been, so I don't know a lot about it, but Faye has been, and she took photographs, and she used a lot of the photographs in her journal, so it's very pretty with the lots of the wrought iron gates and things like that. I don't know what this is behind here. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a calendar or what. Can't see it very well, even with my glasses on. I'm like, what is that? Let's use the glue stick. Okay, is that all I want on that one? This won't work. Me brain. I wonder if I want, do I want a little something over here? Not that. Kind of just like the idea of something being up over here. Started using my art glitter glue more for this kind of thing, and I do like it. I think that's all I'm gonna do to that. I just like it. And then you go to spot to right, and this will just get tucked into the back pocket of the journal, which I will get out and kind of show you guys where I'm at with that. Oh, and then I also wanted to do something for the front pocket. But I've just tied a piece of seam binding in this pretty, I don't even know what color that would be. It's, I don't know. It's not really burgundy because it's not quite that dark, but anyhow, it goes well with this other color that's in here. So this I thought could just tuck in there, but it could be added to the journal. It's just getting real fat, so it has to be tied down pretty good to. I do need one for the front. I think I was just going to use one of the tags from the digital for that. And I put all my junky paper over here, so now I don't know where it is. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm not going to do that. Maybe I'll do something else. Oh, there it is. So I wanted this one in the front here because I like how she peeks out there. So that's what I'm going to do. And that'll be simple because it's just already basically done. It just needs something on the back of it. I want that or pink. This is avocado dye. I think I'll do this like one of the little booklets that you can open up since I have that already folded. It was going to go in the journal and then there just wasn't enough room left, so it didn't. But now it kind of will. Part of it will. And those flashcards that I have, they're just from Amazon too, just regular flashcards. They're nothing vintage or anything like that. You can find some sellers with vintage ones on Etsy. So if you do want vintage ones, you can get them. It's not impossible or anything. It's just, you don't have to, because you can make them look a little more vintage if that's the look you like. Oh my goodness, what is my deal? I need to turn it this way. I'm being ridiculous here. Some days it's like, wow. This kit goes very well with avocado dye for sure. I don't think I'll really add much to this. I might add a little lace or something and stitch around it. Oh, I don't know. I can't really stitch around it very well. I mean, I can, but... And I did sew it in. Oh, and I did mention I was going to go over that, so we'll do this and then we'll go over that. Because I know, like I said, I have lots of new people that aren't just new to my channel, but new to junk journaling. So I just want to make sure people are getting the information that they need to make a junk journal. And I have lots of past videos that I've done on sewing and signatures. So if you want to actually see it, a lot of times it's a fumble fest because I'm not very good at it. Gail Augustinelli's super good at it. She does it just being without any trouble at all, and I always end up fumbling. This one, of course, when I did it off camera, it went smooth, but something about when I do it on camera, I just fumble with it for ages, it feels like. So, because it's not always easy because of the cover and everything, you know, you're trying to get through the fabric and all the pages and all that. It seems like easy. It's not. So this is my really old book cradle. It's been well used. It's got holes all down in the ditch down there. But anyway, I use embroidery, or not embroidery, I say it every time, upholstery thread. It's thread. It's not yarn, it's thread. So upholstery thread. And then, if I can get it out of here, I use this big long needle. And the only reason I use the big long needle, it's not like you have to have a big needle. It's just a lot easier when you're going through the fabric and everything to have that long needle. It you know, comes up a little bit better. I'm going to back out just a little bit because I feel like we're really close now. We were fine, but... Okay, so basically what I do is I get all my pages how I want them, you know, folded in half and all that. And make sure if you have any items like the doily that it's in the middle, you know, I flip through and make sure everything's the right direction. I take out all the ephemera before I sew in the signatures, you know, all the stuff out of the pockets, because it just makes it fatter with all that stuff in there, a little easier to sew if you don't have all that. And then I'll place it where I want it into the cover itself, and I'll clamp it. So I'll find the center of the journal, maybe. There we go. I find the center. I fold it like this and hold it and clamp. Put a clamp here, put a clamp here, put a clamp at the top, put a clamp at the bottom on the opposite side so that all the sides, you know, have clamps. And then, and by clamps, I just mean bulldog clips, you know, these, but they're bigger, the bigger size ones. Like, okay, these. Okay. And then you want to go as central as you can. Like this journal doesn't fit all the way on the book cradle, but you can move it up and down. That's not a big deal. you find your center spot, and I just eyeball it when I'm doing one signature because it's not like, if it's a teeny bit off the center, it's not going to matter. Push all the way until, you know, you can't push anymore because you've hit the little, the little ditch in there, and it won't go any further. If you don't have a book cradle, you don't have to have a book cradle. You can use like a phone book or something. Anyway, find the center. Then I come roughly an inch down from the top of the pages, not the top of the journal, top of the pages, and poke another hole. And then like with this one, I have to move it up a little bit because it's tall, and go an inch from the bottom of the pages and poke another hole, okay? Then I'm done with my book cradle. And it's all clamped together still, okay? Then what I do is thread my needle with 3 links. So I go 1, 2, 3. So pretty long piece of thread. You can leave it attached to the spool. I just can't do that. It's too fiddly for me. But like Rachel at Roxy Creations, she leaves hers attached to the spool. So then she doesn't waste any, which is a great idea. It's just, I'm not that talented. So anyway, you go through the middle, all the way out to the outside, pull it out. Make sure you leave a tail in here that you're kind of hanging on to, because otherwise you'll just pull it all the way through, and obviously that's not going to work. And then you come to the top, put it back through, pull it out. Then I go all the way down to the bottom and back through. Gail does it a little bit different. Pull it out, so now I'm on the outside again. Then I'm going back in the middle, pulling it out. So I've gone twice through the middle, once out, once in. Then what you do is you'll have your middle line here. And what you want to do is get 1 thread on this side of the line and 1 thread on this side of the line. And then you're going to tie it. I tie it 3 times, and then I tie it in a bow. I add a dot of glue onto my knot, just because I like to make sure that it stays. You don't have to do that. That's just what I do. And you want to make sure it's taut. Like you can hear, that's taut. It's got that bounce back. It's not loose. Because if it's loose, you're going to get wiggle. And I have no wiggle because it's not loose. It's nice and tight in there. So, and you can tie it off. You can add charms to the strings if you want. You can cut them closer. You can see I leave a little bit of a tail, but you can cut them shorter if you don't want anything. I just like to leave them like that. Whoever gets the journal can cut them shorter if they like, but that's just how I like to do it. And then on the outside, it's nice and taut, and that's what you want. So that is that, and that's where we're at. So we have our little pocket, our little tag to go into our pocket is what I'm trying to say. And then we also did our pocket back here with the flash card. And that just is going to tuck in there. So that's where we're at for today. I will do a complete flip through of this tomorrow, because I just have a few more little things I need to do. And then I will, I'll see you guys then. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I appreciate you guys so much. Please like and subscribe. It really does help my channel. So we will chat again soon. Love you guys. Bye now.